Welcome back to another Instigating with Clarkie and Drury, brought to you as always by our friends at CoolBet Canada, the Listowel Squash Courts, Listowel Vision Care, See the Game, and of course, our new sponsor, the Hanover Raceway. Don't miss all the excitement of live harness racing every Saturday, starting June 4th to September 17th. Post time always at 1:30 p.m. Bring the family and come have a great time enjoying the sights and sounds. We bet you'll love it. Visit them at hanoverraceway.com for details on their upcoming events. Ryan Drury alongside Clarkie, and we're very pleased to be joined once again. It seems like we do this every year with our friend, longtime Listowel Cyclones coach, former OHL coach, Sutherland Cup, and two-time Cherry Cup champ. Something we can't say about the Maple Leafs. Jason Brooks is with us. Brooksy, how you feeling, man? We're back doing the same show that we did the last 2 years. What's going on here?
I think I would have liked to have had this conversation with you going into the second round to talk about all the good that happened. Unfortunately, that's not the way things went. And after you asked me to do this, Ryan and Clarkie, I'm sitting there thinking, you know, what are we going to, not what are we going to talk about? Because it feels like we're going to talk about the same stuff as we did last year. But the part that's the most frustrating is since the loss, you know, they've done their postseason interview kind of thing, their end of the year talks, and Shanahan's gone out and said nothing's going to change. And that as a Leaf fan is frustrating for so many reasons. And I'm sure we're going to get into that. So
let me ask you, and Ryan and I had this debate last week. This year compared to last year, when it comes to disappointment level, frustration level, I was way more pissed off last year than I am this year. I just think they ran into a team who's very good. They stayed with them. I thought they played well. They weren't out goaltended. We didn't get a bad goal go in. They just ran into a good team. And last year they lost to I thought, a mediocre team, and it proved out this year. But how was your frustration last year compared to this year?
Oh, the same way, Clarkie. I looked at last year as a complete embarrassment, to be honest with you. You're up 3-1 in a series, and you're the team that's supposed to be the powerhouse. And again, they got Carey Price, who's excellent. I get that, but you know, at the end of the day, they lost. They lost the series. Montreal didn't beat them. I think they lost the series. Where kudos to Tampa Bay. I thought they showed why they're two-time Stanley Cup champions. I mean, the sacrifices they made, the shot blocks, you know, key players doing such great little things. Warriors like Corey Perry, you know, getting the job done. You know, again, you tip your hat to them. But in saying that, Clarkie, I'd come back and ask you, you know, you're Brendan Shanahan, or you're the board. You're the board, and you're looking at this plan that's supposed to have turned into great things. And what has it got you? It got you the same results. The same results. And whether it was going to be Tampa Bay, whether it was Florida, whether you were playing Washington, Pittsburgh, didn't matter. Was this going to get through?
Yeah, you got to get through for sure. And it frustrated me too to hear him say what he did. And then I start thinking, okay, there's who's the better coach? Is Sheldon Keefe better than Barry Trotz? Is Barry Trotz better than Sheldon Keefe? Is Peter DeBoer better than all? Like, I don't know. Barry Trotz just won a cup a couple years ago. I just think you have to do the most you can do and not come out 2 days after a loss and say, yeah, same group coming back. I don't get it.
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. I think that was the most frustrating for me. Was just that whole interview.
I wanted to hear some frustration. Some guys pissed off saying, we got to fix this. I don't know what we're doing. No one's safe. We're going to do what we have to do to win. That's what I would like to hear.
100%. I would have loved to see Larry Tannenbaum come down and say, look, we're going to just do a whole, we need time. We need time here, and we'll let Brendan speak on it, but we need time before any decisions are made.
Yeah, it was I don't know that I want to call it a bizarre press conference. There was some bizarre stuff said for sure. And it's one of those things where they're really in a weird place now. Because, like last year was unbelievably embarrassing. Like, there's no question about that. And I said on this show to Clarkie that if they screwed this one up, I actually thought it might be worse. Yeah. And the reason The reason why I said that, and I still feel this way, and I really don't care. You can disagree. I know last year, I'm not a Leaf fan. I'm coming at this from another angle.
So you're not allowed to have an opinion on it.
Well, I'm going to give one. The reason why I said it was worse was because this year, it's because of who they're playing. It's the back-to-back Cup champs, and I don't care. You went to 7 games, hooray. You still didn't do anything, and you could not raise your level to the bar of excellence in this league. They have 3 guys that make more than their highest paid player, who is Nikita Kucherov, and he makes $9.5 million. And I love Mitch Marner, and I'm super entertained by him. I still laugh almost every day. I wake up and there's controversy with the Leafs like this. I giggle to myself that he makes more than Nikita Kucherov. The gall of that. Let's not talk about what a great player he is and a point producer, because he is. And he had a really good year this year, and I actually thought he played really well. He did the reverse Nylander. Nylander was pretty off this year, and you can pick out a number of plays like the pull-ups in overtime. Marner had a really solid series and was good. Matthews was in and out. I thought overall he was pretty good. I'd give him like a B+ for the series. But they've got 3 guys that make more than all of those Stanley Cup champion guys on Tampa. I know the tax in Florida is different. I get it. Still, it's a salary cap world, and these are the facts. They got 3 guys that make more than all of those guys. In Game 7, if you want to talk to me about, they got to Game 7 and hooray, what a pat on the back. It's the Stanley Cup champion. This is year 6 now of this core of young guys, and they still can't get through the first round. They still can't do it. And in Game 7, Tampa Bay, after the first period, lost their best playoff player of the last few years, Braden Point, and didn't have him in the lineup, and they still couldn't beat them. They still couldn't do it.
Brian, I'm going to cut you off, and I apologize.
Go.
But
cut him off, please.
I think, boys, honestly, Ryan, to your rant, this series was lost in Game 6. You have a chance to close out. You're leading in the third period. You're playing really well. And they take the 5-on-3, like they get called for those 2 penalties and 2 high sticking penalties.
One of which was a very bad call.
But I'm not complaining. Like at the end of the day, his stick comes up, whether he hits him or not. You've got to keep your stick down. You've got to do the little things and the little details. Alex Kerfoot goes down the ice on the penalty kill, working his butt off. Unbelievable effort. Hemming them in. Gets called for a penalty 200 feet from your own net, shorthanded.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a detail, right?
Yep.
And that killed them. They tied that game, and I remember watching it with my son, and I said to Colin, I said, at the end of the day, they're done. And he just looked at me and goes, they're done. And then sure enough, point scores in overtime, and you're in Game 7. And you're going into Game 7, and Vasilevsky hadn't played great yet.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the best goaltender in the league sitting there. You lost Carey Price last year, the best goalie in the league last year. And here you go again. And I hear your narrative, Ryan, on Marner. I hear your narrative on Matthews. I thought, honestly, I thought both played way better this series than they did last year for sure. They got timely goals out of Tavares. They got timely goals. But I guess coming into this whole talk, I'm looking at it as, so what? Is right, is you finished out of the playoffs. You underachieved again with a 115-point team, with a team that's supposed to get it done. How great this group is. They preach it and they talk about the room and how great Sheldon Keefe is. Sheldon Keefe has done great things, no question, as a coach, but he hasn't got past the first round.
Right.
Barry Trotz last year. You guys help me. You're better at this than I am. Did he not go to the conference final last year with the Islanders?
Back-to-back conference finals.
Back-to-back. And this year, he doesn't make the playoffs, and what did they do?
Yeah, I can't believe they fired him. I still can't believe that Lou fired him, but that's Lou.
And that's what I don't understand, that if there's a better coach out there, you got to do what you got to do.
Anyway. I think that's part of the issue. I think this is the issue that I've come to terms with, is you start at Brendan Shanahan because he's got his belief in Kyle Dubas. And again, Has Kyle done good things in Toronto? Absolutely. Do I agree with you, Ryan, on the contracts being absurd? Absolutely. But he had a vision, he had a plan, they went on it, it didn't work. Some things got to change, right? And I don't know. That's where I stand on it. And I mean, as I've said to you many times in this show, I mean, I got let go. I didn't win a first round either, and I was out in 3 years. I mean, he's had his 3-year chance, and you know, I know he's at that NHL level, but losing the first round is losing in the first round, whether you go 7 games or get swept, right? And
Yep. Last week I went on a little bit of a tirade. I'm not going to do that today, but we talked about the officiating a little bit. I just want to show the Tavares goal, and like, it was so frustrating. The one that was disallowed, and everyone was like, "What happened? Where was it? Like, what? Like, yeah, it's a pick. To me, they happen like 50 times in a game, and this ref decided that in Game 7, in a 1-goal game, he's going to call a penalty for interference on Justin Hall. I'm not going to ask you your opinion on the penalty, if it's a penalty or not, but what I want to know from you is, your team is now very frustrated. They think they got screwed in Game 6. And then this play here that producer Adam is rolling here, Tavares has the puck. Hall comes in, stops. The guy hits him. Hall falls down. Tavares scores. No goal. How like, you could see that. I think Jason Spezza was telling the guys, just shut up about it. We got to move past this and get on with it. But it's so frustrating. Like, how can you corral your team after that and get them back focused? Because to me, it looked like it rattled them, and they weren't themselves after this.
But I think that's your point of I'll say leadership. And again, I thought Sheldon handled it pretty well. He looks very composed on the bench.
And I was wanting him to yell and scream, but that's probably the wrong thing to do, right?
Right. I mean, where Dubas is up there with his hands in the air, whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought Sheldon actually handled it pretty well. But I agree with you. You have to be on the bench basically saying, look, boys, we got to fight for one. We got to get one somehow, some way. So this one was taken away. Now we need to get the penalty kill. We got to go back at it. As a coach looking at it, I know in junior we worked on that play a lot, but you would tell Justin Hall to turn more, right? To turn his body more to face the puck, almost like you're.
So you're saying it's a set play, but he just didn't execute it perfectly.
100%. He comes down to run on interference. You used to do this on the power play all the time. You do this to create time and space for a player. Sometimes it's done in the corner, Clarkie, where they do that. The guy will be standing there, like you said. But if you turn and face the puck the whole time, you can hold your position. But as soon as you don't and you just run body on body, that's why they call that, right?
Yeah, you're right. And then, like, in game, not to make comparisons and cry about the refs, but that's what I like to do the best. In Game 5, Ryan McDonough just rolls over Morgan Riley in front of the net, and I think we have a clip of this too. No call. I mean, he just totally pounded him right out of the way. I mean, luckily they did come back and win, but it's just the inconsistency that ticks me off. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if you can use the same ref in all 7 games. And I don't know, but this play, you'll see it from behind the net. If you're watching on TV right now or on YouTube, watch Morgan Riley gets back in front of the net here and just gets reamed out. And then the guy gets the puck who hit him, and McDonough slams it in. So, I mean, those kind of plays happen all the time. And it just ticks me off that, as I said last week to Ryan, I just think the Leafs are jinxed sometimes.
Yeah, and part of it is that, right? Like, it's just getting over that hump. And I know I said this to you guys before, and I know I said it the last couple of years we've done this, but like in Listowel, we lost those first 2 years in 4 games. And I remember just saying, we got to get through that first round. And you know, actually, to be truthful, I think it was the first game we said, you got to win that first game and kind of, okay. And then.
But the Leafs had a great first game too this year, right?
Yeah,
5-7. Right.
They did. But you knew there was going to be pushback, right? From Tampa. You knew these guys were going to go down. Yeah. And that's what I said, Clarkie. Like, look at them blocking shots. Like, if you went back through and looked at them blocking shots and paying a price and doing the little things, this team reminds me again. I'm from the Islander battles, and remember on Boys on the Bus, and Gretzky and Messi and those guys are walking by the Islander room after their playoff loss, and or Stanley Cup loss, and there's no celebrating. There's no nothing. They got ice all over them. Well, this is Tampa.
Right.
They know what it takes to win that cup, and to do it back to back is tough. But the way they're playing right now, my money's on them to win it again.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. And I think it really comes, and I hope the bottom 6 guys, like it doesn't sound like they're going to change many things in the top 6, but those bottom 6 guys, like Kerfoot, useful player, but not tough. Engvall, yeah, he can score. Mikheyev, yeah, he can score. Those guys aren't blocking shots. Those guys aren't going hard. Like, I think Austin Matthews was one of the leading guys in the hit category. Like, to me, you need the bigger bodies on those 3rd and 4th lines, and they don't have it.
So I heard an interesting comment made on a radio broadcast. I was driving, I guess it was on the Saturday night with Callum, and it was stated, do the Leafs do what the Raptors did?
Mm-hmm.
Do they make a bold, change where, they got rid of Dwayne Casey, they got rid of DeMar DeRozan, they brought in Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
They made a change because the Raptors had been a great regular season team. They had done extremely well. I think Dwayne Casey was coming off Coach of the year before.
Yep.
Or even that year, I guess it was that year he got Coach of the Year, and then they lose right again in the first round, and Masai Ujiri makes that bold move. Like, is that where this team needs to be, where they make a bold move? And do you take a chance at flipping out somebody that, the media would lose their mind, the fans would lose their mind, but you make an impact trade to try to land something impactful back and hire a coach, maybe like you said, like a Trotz, and change the identity a little bit?
Yeah, I think you do. I think that's exactly what you do. Make it, we might have been listening to the same broadcast. Make it uncomfortable. Make the guys feel a little uncomfortable. Yeah, you're best friends with William Nylander. Guess what? He's gone. Like, we need someone else who can win games, right? So that and I worked for the Leafs for 15 years, and I know how they really try to tie things together there. And like, oh, look what the Raptors did. Oh, look what the Leafs did. Like the Leafs, I think their game hat or whatever after games after the Raptors won the championship was a game ball, a basketball. Like, they're always trying to tie things in. It kind of drove us hockey guys nuts at times, but yeah, it's like, they need to make things a little more uncomfortable there.
I really wonder what that might look like, right? Because, I think that the consensus probably is, like, Matthews is going nowhere. He is in this grand narrative that people like to draw between the Caps and the Leafs. He's your Ovechkin. He's your guy. He is your generational star that you don't move. He is the heartbeat of the team. Tavares has a borderline, and I mean, everybody can be traded, a borderline unmovable contract. He's got a no move clause. Marner is a guy that is hard to replace. Like, he's a dynamically offensively talented guy. He had an unbelievable season this year. Nylander,
2 goals, I think, in the first game.
Yeah, Nylander might be the guy, right? Because
I think he's the most movable contract.
Absorbable contract, right? An extremely talented player, and a guy that could score. If he really goes off one year, he could score 40. No one would be shocked if William Nylander had a 40-goal, 90-point season. So here's the first thing I'll say about this Kawhi narrative, right? I want people to be careful with that in a sense, because it is a little different. Where basketball, if you've got 1 or 2 guys, they can carry you. And that's what Kawhi and Lowry did that year. Now, they made big moves at the trade deadline, too. They brought in Marc Gasol. They had Siakam blossoming into a young star. They had Ibaka. But basketball is a sport where a guy can be on the floor for 90% of the game, where hockey's not like that. So I'd say that. But I will say this. I do think that as much as people don't like it, they might have to move one of these big guys. I doubt it's Riley, and I like
who's not going to like it? I don't think anyone's not going to like it.
I think
really don't,
fans,
Ryan.
I think Leaf fans, there are Leaf fans, no matter who it is that they move, that will freak out and go, oh, see, they went to game 7 with the back-to-back cup champions, and now they're panicking and making a panic move.
I think the Leaf fans are more pissed off if they don't do anything.
I would agree, but some the Leafs fan base, they're divided on everything. There are guys that don't, there are people that don't agree with it, but the fact of the matter is, you lost again. It doesn't matter that you took the back. Like, nothing is getting done in crunch time. And I agree. We all agree. My point would be, I think, and it makes me mad that like people have been texting me, like Leaf fans that I'm friends with, texting me like, oh, well, Washington didn't change their core. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Let me run back the tape for you on like 6 coaches that got fired. Not to mention the fact that the core of Washington came down to 2 guys. That's all that was left from that original core where they got beat by Montreal up 3-1 in 2010, President's Trophy, this, that. Backstrom and Ovechkin were the only guys.
Yep.
That's it. You know how many goalies they ran through before Brady?
Well, we got to get into the goalie situation too here. So.
Jose Theodore won 20 games in a row in 2008. He won 20 games in a row. Yep. He got pulled after game 1. Then they had Varlamov. Then they tried Neuwirth. Remember that time that goofily they signed Thomas Vokoun? Mike Green, big part of the core, gone. Not there when they won the cup. Alex Semin, big part of the Young Guns. It was a poster all over Washington in 2010. Gone. He just retired yesterday. End of an era.
I thought he retired 10 years ago.
Mike Knuble, gone. Jason Arnott, run it down. Brooks don't tell me Washington didn't change the core. No. They changed 70 guys before they got there, and the coach. I like Sheldon Keefe. If it was up to me, I'd be calling Trotz. Sounds like it's too late. He might be in Winnipeg or Peter DeBoer. 2 Stanley Cup Finals with 2 different franchises, came up short. Not his fault.
One around.
And I really one around. And I think. I would be, look, I love Jack Campbell. He's an easy guy to like. I would be smashing through my phone daily on the phone with Pat Verbeek in Anaheim asking William Nylander and what for John Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Me personally. Brooksy, I don't know what your thoughts are. Let's talk about the goalie.
We need to talk.
What do they do with Campbell? He's an unrestricted free agent. He had a really good first half, not nice second half, and an up and down playoff. I don't think
didn't lose because of him.
No. But he is going to be due a raise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do here.
Well, let's just leave the staff where they are. Okay, so we know Shanny's in the same spot. We know Dubas is in the same spot. I really like that trade that you're saying, and I think that is an impact trade because you're bringing in a goaltender who's done some great things in the past, right? You need to bring in somebody in the back end that can steal you games, and as well as Jack played, he didn't steal anything.
Right.
That's an impact move, right? He if it is a Gibson, go down your list and try to find anybody else. Like somebody said something maybe on a broadcast about Binnington or that Husso, but probably get a cheaper price out of Gibson, right? Because of the season they had. I can't probably say the word I want to say. Do you go bigger and go after Carey Price? Do you offer something and say that short-term kind of thing and say to Montreal, here, I'll give you Liljegren and I'll give you Nylander and whatever else and take a shot at that? Like, because it's confidence, Clarky, right? You've got that goalie that's going to shut the door.
And that's the thing with Campbell. You can see him mentally just very fragile.
He beats himself up.
He does, and it's sad to see, but you can just see it. And like when they pulled him in that game, game 3 or whatever it was, like you could see the conversation. Like I
Game 5, yeah.
Game 5, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's so fragile, and that's not good for a goalie. But yeah.
No.
Or that was game 6,
Gibson
I
would be
think.
great.
Yeah. Whatever day it was.
No, it
yeah.
wasn't game 6.
It might have been 4. It might have been 4. One of the ones that they lost badly and they were down like 3 or 4 nothing. It might have been game 4, which I actually think is the game where they lost the series.
Well, go up 3-1, like
Well, you could have and they came out with just
it was terrible,
atrocious effort. Like it was, John Gibson, and I know people are thinking, well, John Gibson. I don't know why people always do this. Oh, well, John Gibson's never won this, and John Gibson's never won a Vezina or whatever. It's like, not every team has a Vezina winner. Antti Niemi won a Stanley Cup. Like, no disrespect to him, his name's on the cup. Cam Ward, who had a pretty good career, but he never reached the heights of that rookie run where he won a Conn Smythe with Carolina. He won a Stanley Cup. Guys win cups that aren't all-time legend goalies. But John Gibson, I've always had a high opinion of him. I think he's one of the 5 best goalies in the NHL when he's healthy. And I know people will look at the numbers and go, oh, look at Anaheim. John Gibson stands on his skull. And a lot of the wins Anaheim had this year were because of him. He is a sensational goalie. He's under 30, and he's got an eatable contract that is actually, I believe he makes 6.5.
6.4, I think.
Which is less than Nylander. And I know people are going to go, oh, you can't trade Nylander. Yes, you can.
Oh, yes, you can.
Actually, yes, you can.
You absolutely can.
And that type of move might be the wake-up call. John Gibson is a significant, and I love Jack. He's likable. They just better, significant upgrade.
Yeah, they just better do something. Like, because Mrazek's not the answer. I wouldn't be surprised if they just buy him out.
That ended up being a dud. Yeah,
it was a dud. And so was Nick Ritchie. They made some mistakes in the offseason last year. They got to make some better ones this season. But before we let you go, I just, Justin Hall playing in the last few games.
I think he's gone too.
Well, yeah, but my question though for Brooksy is like Liljegren and Sandin, these two guys who they were highly touted kids, and like I thought Liljegren sort of surpassed Sandin. Now Sandin got hurt, but both of them played pretty well throughout the season. Were you surprised they didn't get a sniff in the playoffs?
Very.
Yeah,
very,
especially in the last games.
And that, and I don't know if it's because of the physicality that Tampa brought that they were concerned, but I mean, they rode them hard, or rode Liljegren hard with Giordano down the stretch drive, and I thought they played and performed very well.
Yeah,
because they have a stretch of tough games, right? Coming in, and they did a good job together.
I wondered if he was hurt. Like, maybe, we don't know a lot of things, right? But
I think they just sat him. And
well, that's what I mean. They didn't say he was hurt, but you never know. All I'm saying, Ryan, is
everybody's hurt. Yeah, everybody's hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're either hurt or you're injured. If you're injured, you shouldn't play.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think both those guys, they've got some, and like people are saying, oh well, the Leafs, those two guys, they're not that big and whatever. Like the way the game's played today now, like you don't need a bunch of Bruce back there. When Pittsburgh won back-to-back, one of those years, by the way, with no Chris Letang, okay, they didn't have a big, giant bruising core of D-men. I think the biggest guy they had was Brian Dumoulin. He's like 6'1", and Ian Cole. Not the hugest guys. They just had quick, efficient puck movers who made the good little detail plays, meat and potatoes, and got it up to Sid and Malkin.
Yeah, and if you can move Muzzin too, I think that would help if you can move him.
Which is unfortunate because he's...
I know, but he's big ticket. So
I know, yeah.
I still think, fellas, for me, and this is maybe a coach still saying coaching things, but the style of play that is played is linked to who? It's linked to your coach. And they've played this puck possession game, and when you look at teams that have won the Stanley Cup, like Tampa Bay plays both styles. They can play a puck possession game where they can dump and chase. You look at St. Louis, what did they do? They dumped, they chased, they pounded. Craig Berube brought back 80s, 90s hockey and said, we're going to jam this stick down your throat. When Washington won the Cup, Ryan, and you're a Washington fan, Did they not play both styles? Dump and chase and pound, and Alex Ovechkin started to throw his 260 pounds around like, for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they put it all together under Trotz too, right? I mean,
and they all those teams played defense. They weren't perfect at it, but they all bought into defense. And not that Toronto doesn't. I think Sheldon, again, I have nothing against Sheldon Keefe. I thought he's done a good job. He just hasn't done a good job in the playoffs. But there's a mindset of the Barry Trotz philosophy is you defend from the net out. You work for one goal. We aren't going to throw, or we're going to win the turnover game. We're going to keep our turnovers low. And that brings you to the Liljegren or the Sandin.
Yeah.
They play a high risk, high reward game, I think, kind of with the same forwards, right? That same philosophy with the forwards. Mitch Marner making his beautiful plays, but how many pucks does he turn over? William Nylander, these great, beautiful plays, but how many do you turn over, right? And eventually the team that makes the fewest mistakes tends to win, and Toronto doesn't make the fewest mistakes.
No, they don't. And it's another off season of long questions and short-winded answers from people. And I don't know what they're going to do. Everybody's going to have a take and has takes on trade this guy, trade that guy. It's going to be a real tough summer again.
And the worst part is, and I don't know if you agree, Brooksy, if they had won the series, I think they were going to the end.
I agree.
Really do. Yeah,
I do too.
That's the worst part and the most hurtful part.
Right? Yep.
Anyway, let's give it to them.
It's a tough one. We'll see. I'm sure something will shake loose, and if they end up doing something major, Brooksy, we got to drag you back on here and get your thoughts on it, because I don't think that they're going to quite stand as pat as they're making out that they are. There's going to be some earth moved and turned over. I highly doubt that they're going to run it back exactly the same again, and I think Nylander might be the guy. So I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for doing this, Brooksy. We appreciate it, man.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, golf pro Ian Doig, our buddy, our golf insider. We got to talk about the PGA Championship. We'll review our Masters picks with Doigy from way back when, and we'll make some new picks for the championship this weekend. Tiger watch? Will Clarkey draft Tiger again? You'll find out next on Instigating. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Instigating with Clarkey and Drury. I'm Ryan Drury. Clarkey still riding along with me here. We're brought to you, as always, by our friends at Cool Bet Canada, the Listowel Squash Courts, Listowel Vision Care, and See the Game, and our new friends at Hanover Raceway. Don't miss all the excitement of live harness racing every Saturday, starting June 4th to September 17th, post time at 1:30. Bring the family and come have a great time enjoying the sights and sounds. We bet you'll love it. Visit them at hanoverraceway.com for details on upcoming events. We thank our friend Jason Brooks for joining us to chat once again about a Leafs post-mortem. I'm sure our friend Ian Doig probably has some thoughts to offer on that too, but we like to bring him on here when we're chatting golf. And of course, the PGA Championship, as we record this Thursday night, well underway, and we're going to review our Masters picks, and we're going to pick new teams as well. Doigy, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, guys. Thank you for having me on once again.
Absolutely. Well, you're our guy when it's golf time, and it's golf time this weekend. PGA
it's golf time for the Leafs. Let's get the postmortem before we move on.
Yeah,
Ian
why
Doig,
don't we?
You've been very quiet on Facebook, or maybe you just blocked me so I wouldn't chirp all your friends who agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, as they say, there's always next year, right?
There is, and as a diehard Leaf fan, I'll be there cheering at first thing, the first game. But very disappointing to see them go out so quickly. I think we have to make some serious moves. No firings or anything like that. But I think we got to make a couple moves with the roster. We just can't do it. They're too soft in certain places. That's my opinion.
Yep, we just had Jason Brooks on, and he basically had the same sentiment. So yeah, they got to do something. They got to move somebody.
I read something in the paper today. I think it was Steve Simmons wrote an article, and he talked about.
Oh, good.
We had eight players on the roster had their career years, best years ever, and we still can't get out of the first round of the playoffs.
Yep,
that's concerning, right? Because what if they never play to that level again? Right? Where are we?
Hey, I agree. I totally agree. But
Yeah.
those bottom 6 guys, they got to make moves there for sure. If they're not going to move one of the big guys, but I still think they should move one of the big guys.
100%. I think they have to move Nylander if they can get rid of his contract.
Or Marner.
That's that's what we talked about a lot was a hypothetical Nylander trade with Brooksy. Yeah, it's another long, hard summer, and I don't know. There's no easy answers for sure, unfortunately. You know who seems to have easy answers though right now is Scotty Scheffler, the #1 player in the world, and he is just, you know, lighting the golf world on fire of late. Of course, he's had a pretty good start to the year. And again, Tiger is in the mix once again. So it's always interesting when he's involved. And once again, he stated he thinks he can win. I don't know what your opinion is after watching him at the Masters.
I'm going to interrupt you again. Let's show the Masters results.
Okay, yeah.
While
let's
you're talking
see
about
those.
Tiger, let's show the Master results. Now,
Clarky must have won.
Let's preface this by saying that you're disqualified if you don't have all your guys make the cut. Like, is that fair, Doigie?
No.
So
Well,
how
we had a
would you
4-pack of
handicap?
guys.
How would you handicap the guys who don't make the cut, who don't have a chance to blow up on Saturday or Sunday?
I think what it is you just take whoever makes the cut, you add up all the money that they won at the end, and that's the guy that has the most money wins.
So you're on the money list, not on the score list.
No, it's about money. Every event that they play is about money, right?
See, we went by score.
Oh,
We went by total score of our team.
You had 2 guys not make the cut.
Yeah,
all our guys made the cut.
Yeah, I know, but I also had first, second, and third probably.
No, you did.
No, you had Rory, and he was third, I believe. Rory did a lot of heavy lifting for you. Let's throw the results up, producer Adam.
All right, let's see it.
Here it is, Doigie. We had you at +10. So
Ryan just arbitrarily gave your guys who didn't make the cut an extra 3 strokes.
I gave you a 3-stroke penalty. It's the only fair way to do this. Our 4 guys.
If you miss the cut, you got to be penalized somehow, I guess.
Now, and I just want to add that I made the stupidest pick ever with Tiger because all my guys were played really well, and Tiger was +13.
But he made the cut.
I know. And if he didn't make the cut, I would have been way happier because he wouldn't have been +13. That's what I'm saying. It's not fair.
No, wow, that's too bad.
Who talked you into picking Tiger?
You did.
That's right. With the shock pick of the century. Now, my team, you had the best player of anybody here. Rory did a lot of heavy lifting for you, Doigie. But I mean, and Corey Connors was 3 under. He had a very good master showing. Again, I expect more at the PGA Championship. I actually laid money on him finishing top 5. But Woodland and Koepka both missed the cut. Morikawa did well for me. I believe he was 5th, 4 under. And then JT, Hovland, and Cantlay, they all made the cut. And Clarkie's guys all made the cut, but just he got held back a little
Sadly.
bit. So I would
have won if they didn't make. If Tiger didn't win the cut, I would have won. That's what I don't
take
get.
An arbitrary win. Well, because Tiger, I still would have given you a 3-stroke penalty if he didn't make the cut. So I still would have won.
But he was like plus whatever on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, that's a tough one, isn't it?
So that's, you know what? I guess you're gonna have to pick better this week, Clarky.
I will. I'm not picking Tiger. Mark my words.
Yeah, now we're having like this reverse psychology.
You wouldn't pick him right now anyway after the first round. I mean,
I didn't
that's
even look
the
at
one
the
thing we have going for us today is we know what they shot.
Yes, the when we did the Master Show, we did it on the Wednesday. Now it's Thursday that we're doing this. Let's talk a little bit about it. What's your feeling on the course? Who might this favor? Is Scheffler, going to be in the mix for another win, or is somebody else creeping around? Rory, he's always in the mix at this tournament.
Yeah, the golf course is extremely long. I've made notes here. It's par 70 at 7,556 yards. which is one of the longest courses in the history of majors. They have 7 par 4s that are over 450 yards. Okay, and then and 2 of them are over 500 yards, with one being 527-yard par 4. I mean, when I started in my day, anything above 450 was considered a beast. And now they've got 2 par 4s that are over 500 yards. 2 of the par 3s are 230 and 250. And the 2 par 5s, there's only 2 of them on the golf course. They're 622 and 656 yards long.
What's
Crazy.
the longest hole you've ever played? Do you know?
Well, we have one at Tangle Creek that's 636, so that's pretty long.
From the tips.
From the tips. I don't think I've ever played anything over 700. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Like that's got to be driver 8-iron for me.
Well, yeah, of course. With
And then driver again.
full top 3 woods in between.
And then driver again. Wow, that's
But,
a long way.
The golf course favors the long hitter for sure, 100%. And I'm taking a quick look at the leaderboard. I'm actually a little surprised. I mean, you've got Rory and you got Zalatoris right up there, but you've got a couple guys in Hogue, Kuchar, and Answer that actually don't hit it that far. So they've obviously done their work with their wedges and their putter. But I think by the end of the week, you'll have Rory. You'll have Zalatoris, Justin Thomas will be up there, Schauffele, who hits it a long way, Cameron Smith. I mean, I look at Cameron Smith, been playing well of late. He had a double bogey early in his round and still shot 2 under. That's a pretty impressive round of golf today.
Mhm.
So, but I like Rory. I picked Rory in my pool early this week. Obviously, if I get first pick, I was the loser in the Masters pool, so I guess I get first pick in this one.
I don't think that's the way it goes.
Is that what we want to do? Because I mean, you did have first pick in the Masters pool. I don't know if I'm so keen to relinquish that given the performance of my team. Maybe I should have first pick. Maybe Clarkie. I don't know. What Clarkie, you be the arbiter of justice here. What do you think? Like, because Doig
Right, I'm in the middle. So no, Doigie's our guest. We got to let him pick first.
He can have first. But should we have a caveat here because it's Thursday and we've already seen.
We need some rules though about making the cut. So and I don't know how to do it in this. I have no idea, Doigie. How do you do it?
Well, how many picks are we going to have?
4.
3? 4.
Are we going to? I think we should just do 3 this time.
No, let's do 4.
Okay, we'll do 4.
True snake.
But we'll count the money for your best 3.
Fine.
I like that. Yeah, I'm okay with
money
that.
for best 3.
Your best 3 money
best
earners.
3 money earners.
Adam,
And
hope you're writing this down. You're in charge, Adam.
Most money wins.
Okay.
Most money wins. Okay, I am on board with that.
Doigie's first. So let's go. Let's get right into it.
But should we have a caveat? Should we maybe not allow Rory to be picked?
No, you're allowed.
No.
Some guys, a lot of guys don't go wire to wire.
Tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Uh-oh. I hope we're not losing Doigie here. Yeah, this is good.
That said, my pick is Rory. Yeah.
Okay, good.
My internet's unstable, but
we had a little jump there, so we're good. We'll let you have Rory. Now, okay, I'm gonna keep track of this, and I know producer Adam's doing the same. I want to, so you can have Rory. I won, so I want.
No. I go second.
Well, okay, fine. I'll take the back-to-backs. Okay, whatever. If that's the way you want it.
No, whatever.
Go ahead. I'm not going to complain.
Go.
Your team
Go, Ryan. Go. You go.
No, I'd like you to have second.
Okay,
pick.
I'm picking Cam Smith.
You're picking Cam Smith. Okay, Clarkie's got Cam Smith. Fair enough. With my first pick of a back-to-back, I will take Bill Zalatoris.
Wow. Wonder why you picked him. Tied for second.
Well, and he plays this golf course really well. William Zalatoris, Billy Zalatoris. And then on the back-to-back swing, I will take Abraham Tiny Answer.
Okay.
Back to Clarkie.
Yeah, back to Clarkie.
Tony Finau.
Tony Finau. Okay, and
Doigie with 2.
Doigie with back-to-backs.
Justin Thomas.
Nice. Great pick. Yeah.
Xander Schauffele.
Oh,
Another good pick.
oh boy.
Schauffele. Wow. And now to Clarkey.
Yeah. Patty Reed.
God. The cheater himself.
I love the foot wedge.
Yeah.
Pat Reed. That makes me sick. Oh, man. That's funny.
Your last two.
All right. To wrap up my draft, I will first take Joaquin Niemann. As I think this golf course really suits his game. I'll take Niemann. Wow. There's some really good players still left here.
Yeah, pick one of them.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm gonna take a bit of a flyer. He's a really good golfer, but you just never know what you're gonna get. But I'm gonna take a flyer on Shane Lowry. I'm gonna take Shane Lowry to round out my team, Mr. Clark.
That's not going out on the limb there very far there.
It's not on the limb, but there are other guys up the list I could have taken before Shane.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling my Irish.
So I probably wouldn't pick this guy, but he did have a good first round. And I genuinely think, and Doigie might like shoot this down or agree with me, but one of the guys who I think is a really nice guy is Matt Kuchar. So that's who I'll pick.
Okay. Kuchar.
I just don't think he hits it far enough, Clarkey.
That's okay. -3 after the first round. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Doig to end it.
All right. My final pick will be, I'm going to go with Matt Fitzpatrick.
Wow.
Fitzpatrick.
Fitzy. I like it. He's got a good Doigie's got like when you look at raw talent, like again, like Doigie's team. So let's recap it here. Doigie's got Rory and JT. I mean, right off the hop.
That's a good pick.
Two of the top
next
five players
suck, but that's fine.
No, Xander Schauffele's a quality player.
I'm kidding.
And then Fitzpatrick. Clark has Cam Smith, Tony Finau, Patrick the Cheater Reed, and Matt Kuchar. And I took William Billy Boy Zalatoris, Abraham Tiny Answer, Joaquin Niemann.
You got four guys who could have been picked last, but keep going.
Shane Lowry. 4 guys who could have been picked last. Who won the last one? Okay.
All right. So we throw out our worst player.
Right. Top 3. So what if you don't have 3 guys that make the cut? Doesn't matter. You just
it just goes to whatever money you make.
Okay, fine.
Total earnings for the tournament. That's what we're doing this time.
But now let me ask this question.
Yes.
Compare the number 1 guy money to the number 2 guy. Is it like double?
Yeah, but if you pick the winner, you should
I think it's more, you got to be more consistent than just pick the winner.
It's about picking the winner.
All right, fine. Next time we might change the rules again for the next one.
You know what? If you're at the Kentucky Derby, are you going to go out there and say, well, I'm going to pick the guy that finishes 3rd or 4th or 5th? No, I want to pick the winner. This is the Kentucky Derby.
Well, maybe we should just pick like 18 guys each, and whoever picks the winner wins.
No, we're not doing that.
Perfect. This is perfect.
Good. Okay, we're good.
All right.
Good. Well, that was fun.
I think this is perfectly fine.
What's the next one? The Open? Is that the next one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Open's next. And that's always, that actually might be my favorite one. I really like why the Open, I don't know. It still just bothers me that they call it that. Like we all want to call it
Open.
The British Open. It's like, oh no, it's the Open.
No, it's the Open Championship.
Right.
And the winner becomes the golfer of the year.
Hey, Doigie, what do you think of this new league tour?
The Saudi League nonsense?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not sure. I think if I was a young guy coming up, I would certainly want to look at it because of the money and everything. But I think the big thing, and it's coming out more and more and more, is that Greg Norman has a burr up his ass for the PGA Tour. He's mad at them. He's been mad at them for 35 years, and he's doing everything he can to make them look bad and to take them down. I think it's I mean, I'm not a Greg Norman fan, so that's, makes it easier for me to dislike the whole idea.
Yeah.
But if I was a 23-year-old coming out of college and I had an opportunity to possibly go over there and play, I would certainly look at it because the money's so great. And, if he gets it off the ground, who knows what it's going to be like in 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years from now. Right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Itself. I mean,
For
then
sure.
all of a sudden, what's the PGA Tour and the Masters and all those other tournaments do on their invite list? Who do they invite? Only people from the PGA Tour, or do they start like if the top 15 kids out of college went over and played in this new league over there, Live Golf or whatever it's called, and 8 years from now they were some of the best players in the world, how does the Masters not invite them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Now, Sergio the other day got in a little discussion with an official and said, I can't wait to get out of this league or whatever. So maybe there's another guy leaving. So,
I would think Poulter and Sergio and Westwood. I mean, European-based players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all that money that's available to them. They don't have a connection to the U.S. as much as the U.S. players. And you know what? I could see that group leaving, especially they're in their twilight of the career too, right? They're in their 40s, and all of a sudden you're going to get to play the next 5 or 6 years for what is it, 25 million a week?
Yeah. How do you get a piece of that? Can you get over there?
Yeah, I wish I could. I mean, you think about it. You've got what's this week? 12 million or 12.5 million. So they're playing in a few weeks, the same week as the Canadian Open, and they're playing double that. And it's only 48 players. I mean,
yeah.
Basically, if you do the numbers breakdown on it, every player is making 500 grand for the week, and there's no cut, and you're only playing 54 holes.
That's a good week.
Yeah, it's like, I know a lot of people are brushing it off as nonsense and will the golf be as good and will they have big names over there? But if they build it properly, and hey, if there's one thing we know about the Saudis, they print money. Right. Look at what's happened with European soccer. I mean, take
what's happening with the price of gas.
Look at the price of gas. Yeah. Look at soccer, man. Sheikh Mansour and all those guys buying Manchester City and billions of pounds on players. Like, if there's one thing the Saudis aren't afraid to do, it's splash the cash, and cash is king. So I know people are brushing this off as this goofy side startup league. I don't know. Like, it's
going to steal some big players.
It could be a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I'm a young Canadian kid coming out and somehow they invite me to go over there and play, you know what? I go over and play for 2 or 3 years. If I play even half decent, I'm going to bank 3 or 4 or 5 million.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
By the time I'm 30, I got 5 million in my bank account.
Now I got to tell you, I made it out. I gave you a call on my way to the golf course last week, I guess it was. Yep. And my first round of the year, I only played 9 holes. I got to admit, just played 9.
Were you at this hole?
39. No, Exeter. But I shot 39 with my brand new clubs. First time hitting my brand new clubs, and no range beforehand. It was walk to the first tee and whack. And 39, very impressed. I got to tell you, the golf course was not in good shape. We were losing balls on the fairways. It was a little long, but I tell you, I wasn't pulling the ball. Had the plane a lot better. We have talked about coming up to your facility and doing a show, and the talking is over. We got to get up there.
Yes.
Okay? So we got to get up there and do a show very soon.
You know what? With the golf season now open and the course is open, the evenings in my indoor facility are more open. So we should be able to make that accommodate.
And now the Leafs are out. I don't care. We can go whenever. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
So let's make those plans and we'll be up there.
Okay. Well, you're going to have to wait. I am taking off on Saturday morning to Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Okay.
Monday morning, I have a 9:30 tee time at Barton Hills Country Club for the U.S. Senior Open qualifying.
Nice. Beautiful. Well, good luck there. And you were in Quebec last week. You made a long drive. How'd that go?
Canadian Open qualifying. I struggled with my irons, which is unusual for me. Drove the golf ball perfectly. Struggled with my irons, and I had a couple 3-putts. So unfortunately, I missed. But that's okay.
Yep.
I'm not too worried about it.
Perfect. Good.
Well,
All
best
right.
of luck in Ann Arbor, my friend. We appreciate you doing this as always. And I'll let you and Clarky work the details out, and you say when, and we'll be down there. I can't wait to go and do a show with you at the facility and watch some golf.
Okay, that sounds good, guys. I look forward to doing it. We'll get it hooked up.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
buddy. No one took Tiger. Oh, shocking.
No one took Tiger.
He
I
shot
was
4
waiting.
over. He shot 4 over today.
I know.
Shot
I know.
4 over.
He's outside the cut line, right? So you can't. I mean,
Yeah.
I was a little surprised. I mean, he got off to a good start, 2 under early. In the round.
Yeah. He was rolling.
He was rolling. He had a tough back 9, but I think about the golf course. It's long. It got tired out. I looked at his scorecard. He made a couple bogeys on that 250-yard par 3 and the 625-yard par 5 or whatever. So, understandable. Guy's playing on one leg still.
Doigie's doing the show
Yeah.
on half of his internet service, so I think we need to let him go.
Yeah, I honestly look at my internet. So next
We
time,
made it.
I'll do it upstairs where the internet's supposed to be better. It's all brand new Bell wireless that they just put in. It's been in
Good.
4 days.
It's not a very good endorsement.
No, it's not.
Well, hey, whatever. Hey,
Yeah.
we're making our money. Come on.
We're on Whiteman here. We're on Whiteman.
Yes.
exactly.
That'll
We
teach you.
are.
That'll teach you.
That'll
All right, buddy.
teach you.
All
Doig,
right,
we
guys,
appreciate it, my friend.
Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week sometime.
Yeah. Happy Victoria Day.
Absolutely. Will do. All right.
guys, appreciate it.
That is it. And like Doigie said, or Clarky said, you can watch this with our friends on Whiteman every Friday night at 8, Sunday night at 9. That's on Channel 6 for Whiteman subscribers. We debut on our YouTube channel Friday nights at 9 after the viewing on Whiteman. You can catch the podcast on all the best podcast apps. We're on social media at Instigating Pod. Once again, thanks to our friend Ian Doig and, of course, Jason Brooks and all of our great sponsors, Cool Bet Canada, the Listowel Squash Courts, Listowel Vision Care, See the Game, and our friends at Hanover Raceway. Make sure you visit hanoverraceway.com for all their great racing events. June 4th is the first race of the season. All right, that's it for Instigating with Clarky and Drury. We'll be back next week.